Welcome to the Audiobook Shelf, where we turn powerful books into actionable ideas you can use in your life. Before we start, if you want to make real change, don't just listen, implement what you learn. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment to support the channel. Today we'll explore the life-changing ideas from Atomic Habits by James Clear and show you exactly how small actions can transform your life. Remember, knowledge without action is useless. So stay attentive and let's get started. Chapter 1. Why Habits Matter. Every big change in life begins with a tiny step. It's not the dramatic actions that shape your future. It's the small daily choices you make. Think about brushing your teeth. Most of us do it automatically, without thinking. Yet it prevents serious dental problems. That's the power of a habit. One simple action, repeated consistently, compounds into significant results over time. Habits are the invisible architecture of our lives. They shape our health, wealth, relationships, and mindset. For example, consider two people. One spends 30 minutes a day learning a new skill, and the other spends the same time scrolling social media. A year later, the learner may have mastered a skill or built a side business, while the other barely noticed the time passing. Tiny, consistent actions make all the difference. But here's the truth most people ignore. Success is rarely about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Habits work even when motivation is absent. That's why understanding habits is so crucial. When you master the system, you can direct your life without relying on fleeting willpower. Chapter 2. How Tiny Changes Compound. Atomic habits are tiny, but their effects are enormous. Think of them like compound interest in finance. A 1% improvement every day may seem insignificant, but over a year it's a 37x improvement. Let's take a practical example. If you read just one page of a book every day, it seems trivial. But in a year you could finish dozens of books. The habit is tiny, but the cumulative impact is massive. Another example, suppose you decide to walk just 5 minutes more each day. In 1 month, that's 150 extra minutes of exercise. Over a year, you've added 30 hours of activity without feeling overwhelmed. The key is to focus on systems, not goals. Goals are about the results you want, like losing 10 kilograms. Systems are about the process, like walking 30 minutes a day. Focus on building the system and the results will follow naturally. Habits are not just about discipline. They are about designing your environment, your routines, and your identity to support the changes you want. In the following chapters, we'll dive into the 4 laws of behavior change, making habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, and show you exactly how to implement them with practical. Before we move forward, remember to hit subscribe, like this video, and comment below if you're ready to take control of your habits. The goal isn't just to listen, but to act. Implement these ideas today and you'll see real change. Chapter 3. How Habits Actually Work. The Habit Loop. Every habit you have follows the same simple pattern. Cue, craving, response, reward. This pattern is called the habit loop, and understanding it gives you control over your behavior. The cue is what triggers the habit. It can be a time, a place, an emotion, or a situation. For example, your phone buzzes. That's the cue. The craving is the desire to check the notification. The response is picking up the phone. The reward is the feeling of connection or entertainment. This loop happens thousands of times a day, often without your awareness. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine you come home from work feeling tired. The tiredness is the cue. The craving is comfort and relaxation. The response might be watching TV or scrolling social media. The reward is temporary relief. The problem is not the desire for comfort. The problem is choosing a response that doesn't serve you long-term. Now here's the powerful part. If you want to change a habit, don't fight the craving. Change the response. For example, instead of scrolling, you could take a short walk, stretch for 5 minutes, or listen to calming audio. You still satisfy the craving for relaxation, but in a healthier way. Habits are not good or bad. They are effective or ineffective. Once you understand the habit loop, you stop blaming yourself and start redesigning your behavior. Chapter 4. Identity-Based Habits. Becoming the type of person you want. Most people try to change habits by focusing on outcomes. They say things like, I want to lose weight. I want to get rich. I want to be productive. But lasting change comes from identity, not outcomes. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, say, I am the type of person who takes care of their body. Instead of saying, I want to read more, say, I am a reader. Your habits are votes for the type of person you want to become. Every time you choose a healthy meal, you vote for being healthy. Every time you read one page, you vote for being a reader. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine two people trying to quit smoking. Person 1 says, I'm trying to quit. Person 2 says, I don't smoke. The second person has shifted their identity. They are no longer fighting a habit. They are protecting who they are. This shift is subtle but powerful. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. Start small. Ask yourself, what would a disciplined person do in this situation? What would a healthy person choose right now? Then do the smallest action that proves that identity. Here's how to apply what you've learned today. Step 1. Identify one habit you want to build. Step 2. Define the identity behind it. Not I want to wake up early, but I am someone who values my time and energy. Step 3. Start extremely small. 1 push-up, 1 page, 1 minute. Consistency beats intensity. Remember, you're not trying to change your life in a day. You're trying to change your direction. If this content is helping you think differently, support the audiobook shelf by subscribing, liking, and sharing this with someone who needs it. And most importantly, don't just listen. Pick one idea and apply it today. Chapter 5. Make it obvious, seeing your habits clearly. Most habits fail because people forget one simple truth. You cannot change a habit you do not notice. Many of your daily actions happen on autopilot. You wake up. You check your phone. You eat. You move through the day. And most of it happens without conscious thought. That's why the first law of behavior change is to make the habit obvious. Before you can build a good habit or break a bad one, you must become aware of what you are already doing. Let's take a simple example. You want to eat healthier, but you don't realize how often you snack. You grab a biscuit here, a soda there, a late-night bite without thinking. The habit isn't hidden because it's secret. It's hidden because it's familiar. The first step is awareness. A powerful tool for this is something called a habit scorecard. This simply means writing down what you do in a typical day. Wake up, check phone, brush teeth, drink coffee, scroll social media, eat breakfast. Next to each action, you label it as positive, negative, or neutral. This exercise is uncomfortable for many people, but it's powerful. You stop lying to yourself. You see reality clearly. You don't need to judge yourself. You just need to observe. Awareness always comes before change. Habit stacking using existing routines. Once a habit is obvious, you can attach a new habit to it. This technique is called habit stacking. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to remember a new habit, you link it to something you already do every day. The formula is easy. After I do this, I will do that. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will floss 1 tooth. After I pour my morning coffee, I will read 1 page. After I sit on my bed at night, I will write 1 sentence in my journal. Notice how small these actions are. That's intentional. Your brain resists big changes, but it accepts small ones. Let's take a working professional example. You want to start exercising, but you're always tired after work. Instead of saying, I will go to the gym for 1 hour, say, after I change my clothes at home, I will do 5 squats. 5 squats sound almost silly, but they lower resistance. And often once you start, you continue. The goal is not performance. The goal is showing up. Consistency builds identity. Designing your environment for success. Your environment matters more than motivation. If your environment supports bad habits, willpower will eventually fail. Look around you right now. What behaviors does your environment encourage? If your phone is always within reach, you'll check it more often. If junk food is visible, you'll eat it. If books are hidden away, you won't read. The solution is simple. Make good habits visible and bad habits invisible. If you want to drink more water, place a water bottle on your desk. If you want to read, place a book on your pillow. If you want to stop checking your phone at night, charge it in another room. These are not discipline problems. They are design problems. Change the environment and the behavior follows. People with strong habits are not stronger than you. They've simply shaped their environment better. Breaking bad habits by making them invisible. To break a bad habit, you reverse the first law. Make it invisible. If social media distracts you, remove apps from your home screen. If late-night snacking is a problem, don't keep snacks at home. If TV wastes your evenings, unplug it after use. Out of sight is not just out of mind. It's out of behavior. Willpower works short-term. Environment works long-term. Pause and think about one habit you want to build. Ask yourself, what is the cue? Where does it fit in my day? How can I make it obvious? Now ask, what environment change can I make today? Not tomorrow. Today, even one small change matters. If you're getting value from this deep dive, support the audiobook shelf by subscribing, liking, and sharing this content. And remember, listening alone will not change your life. Action will. Pick one habit. Make it obvious. Start today. Chapter 6. Make it attractive. Human behavior is driven by one powerful force: desire. We don't do things because they are good for us. We do things because they feel good. That's why the second law of behavior change is simple. Make the habit attractive. Every habit begins with anticipation. The brain is not motivated by reward itself, but by the anticipation of reward. This is controlled by dopamine. Dopamine is released not when you achieve something, but when you expect something good to happen. That's why social media is addictive. That's why junk food is tempting. That's why bad habits feel easy and good habits feel hard. To build better habits, you must rewire what your brain finds attractive. Temptation bundling. One of the most effective techniques is called temptation bundling. This means pairing a habit you need to do with a habit you want to do. For example, if you love watching shows, only allow yourself to watch them while exercising. If you enjoy music, only listen to your favorite playlist while studying. If you like coffee, only drink it while reading. The habit you want becomes the reward for the habit you need. Let's look at a practical daily life example. You want to start walking every day, but you find it boring. Instead of forcing yourself, create a rule. You can only listen to your favorite podcast while walking. Suddenly, walking becomes something you look forward to. You are no longer fighting your brain. You are working with it. Social influence and habits. Another powerful way to make habits attractive is social influence. We imitate the habits of three groups: the close, the many, the powerful. If the people around you value fitness, reading, or discipline, you will naturally move in that direction. If they value comfort and distraction, you will follow that too. This doesn't mean you need new friends. It means you need to be intentional. Join communities where the behavior you want is normal. Follow creators who represent the identity you want to build. When a habit becomes part of belonging, it becomes attractive. Chapter 7. Make it easy. The third law of behavior change is not about effort. It's about simplicity. Make it easy. Most people fail not because they lack motivation, but because the habit feels too hard. The human brain is wired to conserve energy. When given two options, it chooses the easier one. So instead of asking, how can I push myself harder? Ask, how can I reduce friction? The 2-minute rule. One of the most powerful ideas from Atomic Habits is the 2-minute rule. The rule says, any habit should take less than 2 minutes to start. Read before bed becomes read one page. Exercise becomes put on workout clothes. Meditation becomes breathe deeply for 1 minute. This feels almost too easy. That's the point. You are not trying to finish the habit. You are trying to master the art of showing up. Once you start, momentum takes over. A habit must be established before it can be improved. Reducing friction for good habits. Make good habits easier by preparing in advance. Lay out gym clothes the night before. Keep healthy food visible and ready. Open your notebook before you sleep. Preparation is a form of self-respect. You are making life easier for your future self. The easier the habit, the more likely it will stick. Increasing friction for bad habits. To break bad habits, do the opposite. Make them difficult. Log out of apps. Use app blockers. Remove temptations from your environment. Every extra step reduces the likelihood of behavior. Convenience drives habits more than intention. Let's bring this together. Choose one habit you want to build. Ask yourself, how can I make it more enjoyable? How can I reduce the effort required? How can I start in under 2 minutes? If you design the habit properly, discipline becomes less important. If this audiobook style breakdown is helping you, support the audiobook shelf by subscribing, liking, and sharing it with someone who needs it. And remember, listening creates awareness. Action creates change. Chapter 8. Make it satisfying. Human beings repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. That is the core truth behind the fourth law of behavior change. Make it satisfying. If a habit does not feel good in the short term, it will not last in the long term. This is why bad habits are so powerful. They deliver immediate pleasure. Good habits often deliver delayed rewards. Exercise improves health, but the benefits come later. Saving money secures your future, but the pain is immediate. Reading builds knowledge, but progress feels slow. The brain prioritizes the present over the future. So if you want good habits to stick, you must bring some form of reward into the present moment. Immediate rewards for long-term habits. One effective strategy is to reward yourself immediately after completing a habit. The reward does not need to be big, it just needs to signal success. For example, after exercising, allow yourself a relaxing shower or calming music. After studying, enjoy a short break guilt-free. After completing a task, mark it as done on a checklist. That small feeling of satisfaction reinforces the behavior. You are teaching your brain that this habit is worth repeating. Never underestimate the power of small wins, habit tracking, and visual progress. Another powerful way to make habits satisfying is habit tracking. Tracking creates visual proof of progress. It could be a calendar where you mark an X, a notebook, a habit tracking app. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Every mark becomes a reminder that you are the type of person who shows up. But there is one rule you must follow. Never miss twice. Missing one day is normal. Missing 2 days is the beginning of a new habit in the wrong direction. If life interrupts you, forgive yourself quickly and return immediately. Consistency always beats intensity. Breaking bad habits completely. To break bad habits, you reverse all 4 laws. Make it invisible. Make it unattractive. Make it difficult. Make it unsatisfying. Let's take a common example. Excessive phone usage. Make it invisible by keeping the phone out of reach. Make it unattractive by reminding yourself what it costs you in focus and time. Make it difficult by logging out or using app blockers. Make it unsatisfying by associating guilt-free alternatives with pride. Bad habits survive because they are convenient and rewarding. Remove convenience and reward, and the habit weakens. Advanced strategy. Focus on systems, not motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired. Most days you don't. This is why successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. A system is something that works even when you don't feel like it. For example, a system for exercise might be a fixed time every day. A system for learning might be reading 1 page before bed. A system for saving might be automatic transfers. When the decision is removed, consistency increases. You don't need more motivation. You need better systems. Long-term habit mastery. The goal of habits is not perfection. The goal is becoming someone new. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity reinforces your habits. This is a feedback loop. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And systems are built through small, repeated actions. Tiny habits don't feel powerful in the moment, but over months and years they shape your entire life. Final summary, bringing it all together. Let's summarize what you've learned. Habits work in 4 steps. Cue, craving, response, reward. To build good habits, make them obvious, make them attractive, make them easy, make them satisfying. To break bad habits, make them invisible, make them unattractive, make them difficult, make them unsatisfying. Focus on identity, not outcomes. Focus on systems, not motivation. Focus on consistency, not intensity. Change does not require massive action. It requires small actions done daily. You've reached the end of this audiobook style breakdown from the audiobook shelf. Now comes the most important part. Do not just move on to the next video. Do not just say this was interesting. Choose one habit, just one. Make it small, make it obvious, make it easy, and start today. If this content helped you understand habits more deeply, support the audiobook shelf by subscribing, liking, sharing, and leaving a comment. Your support helps this channel grow and reach more people who need change in their lives. Remember, information alone does nothing. Action changes everything. Your habits are shaping your future right now. Choose wisely.